Okay, let's get right into this because what started as a regional conflict has just exploded in a matter of weeks. We're talking a massive power vacuum in Iran, a devastating human cost, and shockwaves that are now hitting both the United States and the entire global economy.
And things escalated, really escalated, in a single 24-hour window. The absolute top of Iran's security apparatus was just dismantled. This wasn't just a strike, no. This was a full-on decapitation of the regime's core leadership, and it throws everything, and I mean everything, into question.
So that brings us to the biggest, most pressing question right now. The old guard is gone. The new supreme leader is, well, nobody's seen him. So you've got this incredibly dangerous power vacuum. The whole world is looking at Tehran and asking, is anyone actually flying the plane right now?
To really get a grip on how serious this is, we've got to start by looking at the chaos happening inside Iran itself, because there's a massive leadership crisis unfolding, and it's just getting worse by the day.
The scale of this leadership void is just staggering. We have confirmed eliminations of huge players. Senior advisor Ali Larijani, gone. Militia chief Gholam Raza Soleimani, gone. Intelligence minister Ismail Hatib, also gone. And to make it all crazier, the new supreme leader hasn't been seen at all. The rumor mill is churning. People are saying he's either dead or badly injured. The only sign of any government function is this bizarre order for old appointees to just stay put. That sounds less like a plan and more like a desperate scramble to pretend someone's in control.
And while all this is happening at the top, the Iranian people are being completely cut off from the world. The internet has basically gone dark across the country, and we're hearing that authorities are confiscating hundreds of Starlink devices. It's a textbook play, right? If you control the flow of information, you control the narrative.
But this internal chaos has a very real, very human cost on the front lines, and that cost is getting steeper for absolutely everyone involved. Inside Iran, the numbers are just devastating. Reports are indicating more than 1,300 people have been killed, and beyond those immediate casualties, you have millions of civilians now facing displacement, facing shortages, as infrastructure gets damaged in city after city.
And that cost is being felt heavily on the American side, too. More than 200 U.S. troops have been injured since this all kicked off. And tragically, 6 service members were recently killed when their refueling plane crashed in Iraq while supporting these operations.
Statistics can feel distant. To really understand the price being paid, we're going to look at the story of one American defense contractor, Hunter Gardner. For him, this war became intensely personal.
Gardner was trying to get his crew to a bunker when he saw a teammate fall behind. He refused to leave him, but as he turned back, a drone struck nearby. He knew instantly that something was terribly wrong. In the chaos, he said it felt like his insides were ripped apart, like someone just grabbed my rib cage and flayed me open.
In those moments, right after the blast, barely conscious, he reached down to his abdomen and felt something hanging out. His survival instincts just completely took over. In his own words, "I just grab it, I throw it back in." He then plugged the wound with his fingers and somehow kept walking.
Gardner survived after multiple surgeries, but he now has permanent shrapnel in his body. And yet, his main relief was that his entire 5-person crew made it out alive. His focus wasn't on what he lost, but on what his team didn't have to endure.
So now let's pull back from the battlefield, because the shockwaves are hitting the United States hard, creating new security fears and fueling a bitter political fight right here at home.
Federal authorities are taking the threat of retaliation very seriously. The FBI has issued a bulletin to police departments in California, warning that Iran could be planning a retaliatory drone attack on the West Coast. Now, there's no specific timing or target, but an alert like that, well, it signals a very high state of awareness.
So it's crucial to understand the nature of this threat. Because Iran can't compete militarily in a conventional war, it relies on asymmetric tactics. This includes activating what are called sleeper cells, agents who live ordinary lives just waiting for the signal to strike. It's a threat that's incredibly difficult to detect.
At the same time, the war is exposing deep divisions back in Washington. As the conflict drags on, the debate over the strategy, the cost, and the ultimate goal is just growing more and more intense.
And this slide really lays out the two opposing views. On one side, you have many Republicans arguing the mission is almost accomplished and vital for U.S. security. On the other, Democrats are pointing to the massive financial cost, $1 billion a day, and asking critical questions about the lack of a clear end game.
This conflict isn't just contained to Iran or the U.S. either. Its impact is spreading to the global economy, primarily through one of the world's most critical energy choke points.
And here's why this matters to everyone. A staggering 20% of the entire world's oil supply passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Any disruption in this narrow waterway immediately puts the global energy supply at risk.
In response, the U.S. has been pushing its NATO allies to help secure the strait, but many partners have been pretty reluctant to get directly involved, creating diplomatic friction and leaving the burden of security largely on the United States.
And the consequences are already showing up. This chart tells the story perfectly. Before the conflict, oil was trading around $80 a barrel. Now, with all this instability, prices have surged to over $100, and that's a direct hit to the global economy.
So we're left with a conflict being fought on multiple fronts: a leadership crisis in Iran, a grim human toll, a threat of domestic terror, a deep political divide at home, and a shaky global economy. It all leads to the final unsettling question. With so many volatile factors at play and no clear path forward, how does a war like this actually end?